BTS's Jungkook comes out with a new style, Jimin can't hide his admiration. When BTS's Jungkook appeared before the public with his new style, all the attention was immediately on him. The latest appearance really made a splash, not only among the media and the army, but also among those closest to him. Jungkook is known as someone who always dares to try new things, but this time his transformation feels so different, more mature, more classy, and still has a distinctive aura that no one can imitate. Her slightly longer, neatly styled hair, premium casual clothes combined with a touch of street style, and her sharp but warm eyes make Jungkook seem like a true fashion icon. In fact, many have commented that she looks like she came off the cover of a world-famous fashion magazine. Media cameras were scrambling to capture every corner, and instantly the photos spread widely on the internet. However, what caught the most attention was not only Jungkook's new style, but Jimin's reaction when he saw it. Jimin, who usually could hide his expression, this time looked completely fascinated. In a brief moment captured on camera, it was clear how Jimin's eyes lit up as Jungkook walked through the room. The small smile that appeared on his face seemed to be proof that he could not hide his admiration. In fact, a staffer had leaked that after the event, Jimin approached Jungkook and commented in a joking but sincere tone, "You're even more suitable than a professional model." That sentence made Jungkook laugh in embarrassment, but in his heart, he must have felt very appreciated because the recognition came from such an important figure to him. Jimin's reaction also became the talk of the army on social media. Many fans wrote, "Look at the way Jimin looks at Jungkook, it's not an ordinary look. That's an admiring look." Another commented, "Whenever Jungkook comes up with something new, Jimin is always the first to look proud of him." Korean and international media also highlighted this moment, writing that Jimin and Jungkook's closeness is not just a co-worker relationship, but more like brothers who always support each other in various situations. Jimin, who is always considerate, never seems to stop showing pride in Jungkook's every achievement and transformation. In the end, Jungkook's new style is not just about fashion or outward appearance. More than that, he managed to show how he continues to grow, evolve, and become a figure that inspires more and more people. And behind the camera and the cheering fans, there is one thing that matters most: the sincere support of Jimin, who is always there to admire, support, and encourage in his own way. As soon as the moment of Jimin and Jungkook's interaction spread, social media was immediately filled with excited reactions from the army around the world. Twitter, Instagram, and K-pop community platforms such as Weverse and The Coup were all buzzing with posts showing Jimin's expression as he stared at Jungkook. Hashtags such as #Jungkook, #Jungkook new look, and #Jimin reaction even made it into the ranks of global trending topics in just a matter of hours. Army wrote comments full of emotion, ranging from funny, romantic, to analytical. Many focused on small details, such as how Jimin's eyes looked softer when he looked at Jungkook, or how his smile appeared so natural he couldn't hide it. "That look can't lie. Jimin is absolutely amazed," one fan wrote. The army always knew when Jimin was feeling proud of Jungkook, another added. Not a few also made a slow-motion video edit of the moment, complete with emotional background music. Pieces of the short video spread so quickly, adding to the heated discussion about the closeness of the two. Some overseas fans even described the moment as the way Jimin looks at Jungkook could melt the entire world. In addition, there was also army who highlighted how Jungkook looked a little blushed when he heard Jimin's comment. They judged that although Jungkook was used to receiving praise from many people, the sentence that came from Jimin had a deeper meaning for him. When it's Jimin who compliments, Jungkook's expression is always different, warmer, more sincere, a fan said at an international forum. On the other hand, some army members also mentioned that this moment reminded them of the long history of Jimin and Jungkook's interaction since the beginning of BTS's debut. They wrote a long thread containing old photos showing how Jimin has always been a figure who pays attention to small details about Jungkook, from hairstyles, clothes, to performance on stage. No matter how much the world praises Jungkook, Jimin will always be the first person to truly see him as himself, not just an idol. The phrase got thousands of likes and retweets because it was considered very illustrative of the relationship between the two. The backlash eventually reached several entertainment outlets, who wrote a special article on how ARMY captured the unique chemistry between Jungkook and Jimin. The media mentions that their closeness has always managed to spark public curiosity, even in the midst of great highlights about their respective careers. From this, it becomes increasingly clear that Jungkook's new style is not just a matter of fashion or professional image, but also an emotional moment that connects him with ARMY and especially with Jimin, who has always been an important witness in each of his transformations. Korean and international media never miss any details related to BTS, especially when it involves two figures who always manage to attract attention, such as Jungkook and Jimin. As soon as Jungkook's new look stole the spotlight, the media immediately wrote a long article discussing not only his visual style, but also how Jimin's response made the moment even more memorable. Some Korean media outlets have described Jungkook as a young icon who is maturing, highlighting how his changing hairstyles, outfit choices, and way of appearing in front of the camera reflect the evolution of a global artist. However, in the most cited section, they emphasize that Jimin's support became an emotional point that made the highlight even more special. One of the media wrote, "Jungkook may look like a world superstar, but Jimin's amazed expression reminds us that behind all the glitter of the stage, they are still two trusting friends." Meanwhile, international media from America to Europe are linking this moment to a huge narrative about BTS's friendship that has become a global attraction. Renowned fashion outlets even added a more in-depth analysis that personal relationships and emotional support from group mates actually strengthen Jungkook's aura as a Calvin Klein model. They wrote, "Fashion is not just about clothes, but about the story that is built around it." When Jimin shows his admiration for Jungkook, it creates a humanist narrative that makes the brand even more attached to the public's heart. On the other hand, some Japanese media highlighted how this small interaction became the core of BTS's charm. They emphasized that the fans are captivated not only by the visuals or music, but also by the dynamics of the relationship between the members that are so sincere. The article even touched on Jungkook and Jimin's history of closeness since the trainee era, saying that their chemistry has never faded even though they are now at the peak of their individual careers. No less interesting, Chinese and Southeast Asian media are also busy reporting on this moment, often adding comments from local netizens. Many felt that Jimin's support for Jungkook reflected a high culture of solidarity and loyalty, something highly valued in the Asian region. The articles combine cultural analysis with the popularity of K-pop, making this little moment a symbol of the universal value of togetherness. With this transcontinental coverage, it's increasingly clear that Jungkook's new look is not just a fashion topic, but a social phenomenon. Jimin's support, while modest, broadens that narrative and makes it much more emotional in the eyes of fans. Many believe that without Jimin's reaction, Jungkook's story might have remained hotly discussed, but it would not have achieved the deep resonance it now does.